Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you guys. Well, guess what? I am still in my my hometown, my old stomping grounds, as they say. Same place. Well, no, actually, now I've gone over to, I'm just kind of doing a whole tour of the area that I grew up in. I went by my mom and dad's, my parents' old place, and now it's kind of funny because I'm watching the ships roll in. Then I watch them roll away. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to sing because I can't, but watching the ships, watching the fishing boats, and it's so pretty, you know? Fishing towns are adorable. Coastal towns are adorable. Um, the desert's beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. The country's beautiful. You know, there's a little bit of something in every place, especially the United States has, God, so many different areas that offer an assortment of things, and we're kind of like the Fred Meyer, it's like if you don't, we're the one-stop shop. If you want desert, check. You want ocean, check. Valley, check. Mountains, check. Country, check. But it's weird. I had to remind myself because I keep thinking, man, maybe I should move back, because I get here and if for those of you that listened to my last podcast, you'll already know this, but those of you who haven't, why haven't you? Get on it. Listen to my last podcast. Listen to the podcast right before. But if you didn't, that's okay. You still have time. But I haven't been back in 5 years. And, like anything, when you come back, you're like, oh gosh, I missed this and I missed that and I missed this person. And I remember this thing and, oh gosh, remember when? And, you remember all the good stuff. And you kind of forget the reasons that you left. And maybe you didn't want to leave. Maybe you had to leave because of, a job has all of a sudden my brain is dead and I forgot, not recruited you, you got relocated. And maybe you had no choice in the matter, or maybe a really good job opportunity came up and you shouldn't pass it up, couldn't pass it up. Maybe a family member you need to go be there for, whatever. Or maybe you just wanted to leave because you just wanted a different change of pace. Not that you didn't like the town that you grew up in, not that you didn't like the people. Maybe you just genuinely, again, like I was saying in my last podcast, maybe you just are ready for change because you just like to meet new people and see what the world has to offer. It's a great big world out there. Why not, see it if you can? And, but when you get back, you're like, this place is pretty great too. And I'm sitting here watching, these boats, these sailboats and fishing boats and ships and the rain's coming down and the smells are coming back. And it's like, God, I kind of miss that fishy, stinky smell that everybody else thinks is gross. And I'm like, smells like money to me, smells like home, and I miss the salty air. And as much as I've always said I like the rain, never ever complained about rain. I just don't necessarily like cold and rain. I don't even mind the wind. Love the wind. I don't really like it if I'm on the ocean. If I'm on the beach, I don't like it. If I'm trying to eat or take a walk, I'm not a big fan. But if I'm inside, love a good storm. But I don't miss the cold. I don't miss the cold rain. I don't miss the economy. I don't miss, you just kind of start feeling trapped because there's other things that this place doesn't have that where I'm living now does. And I love to ride horses, and they do have horses around here, but I don't know anybody that has them. I don't know anybody that boards. I don't know anybody that does lessons. I don't, and it's a whole big drive thing out here. It's a lot different. Um, it's just different, and I've already developed a really good rapport with the place that I ride. I can do work and trade for lessons. I can do work and trade for things. They know me. They let me come and go as I please. They trust me, and it's nice. But I have to remind myself, just because you miss something doesn't mean you need to go back. I miss a lot of my relationships in the sense that I miss a lot of the good things in my past relationships. There are some people, some of my exes that I miss their certain parts of their character. I miss why we got together in the first place. We got together for a reason because we clearly liked each other. There were things about each other we liked. And I miss those things, but it doesn't mean I need to go back to my exes. So I miss these places, and I have to remind myself, although there's the nostalgia and, you have the memories doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go back. Sometimes it's just nice to have good memories and makes you appreciate things more. Makes you go, wow, the next thing I do, I just need to appreciate it more. I chose to move. I wanted to move. But I got to tell you, like I'm sitting here currently watching a ship just tootle on down the river and all these fishing boats and this adorable little town and seeing my old house and, just places I worked and just memories. And it's like, God, ugh. So, uh, it's hard. I keep hearing the sea lions. And let me tell you, when you live in a fishing town, sea lions are not your friend. And you're like, ugh, son of a bitch, those things. But you kind of miss the sound, you miss the sound of their barking, out by the mooring basin, you miss that. I don't know, man. And decisions aren't my forte. I mean, again, I don't mean to keep saying this because I sound awful and you're going to get sick of hearing it. But if you've listened to my past podcasts, you will hear me say over and over again, I'm not a fan of like resolutions or saying, I've got this grand plan and here's what I'm going to do. No, I have to pretty much just, if I'm already been thinking about something and mulling around something, and if I get an idea in my head, I will run with it in my head and I'll think about all the pros and the cons and I'll look up things obsessively. I'll research things and all of that. But the moment that I start talking about it or making an actual plan, I don't follow through. I have to just continue to just wake up and just do it. Like continue to get up and start looking online for, doing research. Get up and slowly start packing. Get up and start weaning away from certain things. And like, I don't know, it's weird. And then one day I just get up and I go. I'm one of those that would leave in the middle of the night. I have left in the middle of the night from a bad relationship. So um, I mean, I'm an OCD crazy planner in a lot of ways, and I'm super, super controlling in a million ways. But change is not something I'm afraid of at all because I've had it my whole life. I've never had stability. So you would think I'd crave stability, but I'm like, I don't know. I get bored with, again, I think stability is different than change. I like stability. I just crave change. I like to mix it up, you know? So I try not to sit here and think about it so much and try to remind myself that when I was here, there are many reasons why I was like, oh man, I've got to get out of here. But my friends are here and I miss them, and it's a whole thing. So, point being, here I sit yet again, contemplating life, trying to figure out my life and make decisions based on things that I But the funny thing is, I don't even have a job here, nor would I probably be able to find one of any value because it is incredibly expensive. I mean, incredibly hard, well, and expensive, but it's incredibly difficult to make a living here, and it's also expensive. So the combination isn't great. However, that said, uh, there are more job opportunities where I am, that's for sure. A lot more job opportunities, but it's even more expensive. So there's that. Um, and I make a decent living. It's just that they take out so bleeping much in taxes that I quite literally make the exact same amount now as I did before I got a pretty substantial raise. And that's the honest to God truth. The government is taking out so effing much that I'm making the same amount. I'm making $100 more a month before than I was before my raise. So that's frustrating because I got a pretty good raise and it just all went to taxes. And quite frankly, why in the bleep? Why in God's name am I fucking paying Social Security anymore when it's obvious I'm not ever going to see a red cent? I will never see a lick. So why in God's green earth would I want to continue to pay out the ass for something that I will never see, that will never benefit me at all? They've it's not, and they stole from me. The government, by they, I mean the fucking government, um, stole from me. And again, if I were to do that, I would be in prison. I'd be in prison for probably the rest of my fucking life. I mean, they stole millions, billions from American citizens that they said it is mandatory that you take this amount out of your check. Mandatory. Since the moment you get a job, you must pay into this. No choice. And we were like, all right, if it's for our future and it's for me and, if it's for the greater good, okay, whatever, I guess we're doing it. And then what happens? Well, the government, politics, because every fucking politician, I'll say this about Republicans as well, um, are just, again, Ronald Reagan and Trump weren't a politician. They just started out not being a politician at all. So I do think they're a little different. I'm not just saying that to stick up for Trump because I do think he's an ass in a lot of ways and not perfect at all. So I don't want anyone to get the impression that I think Trump's our Lord and Savior. I don't. But, now we're paying money still. I'm still getting Social Security taken out of my taxes, and I would like to know why. I'm not going to pay for someone else's shit. I don't want to pay. I'm not a socialist at all. And I'm an only child. So quite frankly, I don't want to share. I don't want to share. I mean, I will share because I want to. I will share because I made the choice. I will share because it's something I have that I've decided that I will share with someone else, and I will make that decision. And if I have extra of something, then I will decide who benefits from that. I don't need to be told to volunteer or told, because then it's not volunteer anymore. I don't need to be told to donate to charity or donate to people. I don't want to be told. I will decide who the fuck I give my money to. And right now, I'm getting it taken out of my taxes and I want it to go to me, quite frankly, because I don't want to be a homeless person. So, and I've earned it. More important, well, I don't know if more importantly, but equally important is I've earned it. I have been working my fucking ass off and I deserve it. I haven't been sitting on my butt. And I don't believe that it, it should just be like, well, we did this thing and now you guys just have to eat a dick and get a colonoscopy over it and never see your money again. Like I don't understand how that's okay. We're just like, oh, okay, so you guys completely mismanaged your money and now we just have to um, suffer the consequences. That's weird. That's not okay. I don't want to sound like a child, like a 2-year old. That's not fair. But it's not fair. And I do want to throw a fit because it is weird. Oh, a heron just went by. Another one. Ugh, and a seagull. Seaside is the seaside seagulls. That's kind of ridiculous, just so you know. A seagull, really? Like out of all the things. So you have all the things in all the ocean and anything that has to do with the beach and the ocean. And you're like, you know what a good mascot would be? I got an idea. A seagull. Like, are you fucking kidding me for real? Like, there's a lot of places that are coastal towns that have just ridiculous mascots, and I find it funny. Like, why couldn't you be like a tsunami? You know, like a tsunami's pretty badass and has a lot to do with, um, not a lot to. It has everything to do. Has a lot to do. It is everything to do with the ocean. So you know, whatever. There's a lot of weird mascots out there. At any rate, woo, a squirrel. So those things are on my mind. I'm trying to uh, not let my emotions steer the ship. And I'm trying to be logical, take a breath, you know. I don't know. Anyway, you guys want to hear some really cool, like, hang on. Let me step out into the frigid cold. The things I do for my listeners. I'm going to step out here and we're going to, oh, well, that was kind of overpromised, underdelivered. Let's see. Overpromised, underdelivered. This is where I need to be doing my podcast where you guys can see shit, because then you could be seeing some beautiful shit, even though it's raining. God, it makes it even better. Ooh, it's cold. Going back inside. Fuck you guys. Just kidding. You can't see anything anyways, and you can't hear anything. So, whew, damn, Gina, it's cold. All right. So anyway, just a quick little thing to remind everybody that if you are making a decision, of course, feelings are good and everything, but you got to weigh everything. And missing things doesn't mean you have to go back to it. You know, like I said, there are some qualities about my exes that I miss, but it doesn't mean I'm going to go back to them anytime, you know? So you may miss something, doesn't mean you have to run back to it. But, you know, again, it got to weigh all of the pros and the cons, and don't put the cart before the horse, you know? If you don't even have like a job opportunity or any kind of way of making a living, you know, maybe cross that bridge first to see if it's even meant to be. Like, if you can't find a job, you probably shouldn't move, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take all this advice of my own, and I don't know. We shall see. Well, shall see what happens. But at any rate, hey, you out there, all of y'all, I really, really appreciate and cannot tell you enough. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you tuning in, seeking me out, clicking on my uh, podcast and being like, yeah, I'll give this chick a try. She sounds cool. And then again, if you've listened to me more than once, well, frick, you deserve something. How about, I don't know, I have a thank you, and I do mean it. So if that's any consolation, I do mean it, and I do thank you. So keep listening. Tell your friends, your employees, your coworkers, your family, and tune in next time. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, and until next time.